asking for it. Now I'm going to make it official. Television's first Western reunion. It's about to begin. And I'm glad you could all make it. Barry?
How are you, Glenn?
How are you, buddy? Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness history in the making. We've gathered together the greatest array of Western television stars to pay tribute to the most memorable cowboy heroes and their series.
When the West Was Fun, a Western reunion. Starring Rex Allen, Michael Ansara, Joe Bowman, Neville Brand, X-Brands, John Bromfield, Peter Brown, Pat Buttram, Rod Cameron, Iron Eyes Cody, Chuck Connors, Jackie Coogan, Diane Copeland, Johnny Crawford, Linda Crystal, Ken Curtis, Henry Darrow, Don Diamond, James Drury, Dale Evans, Glenn Ford, Dan Haggerty, Alan Hale Jr., Ty Harden, Darby Hinton, Will Hutchins, John Ireland, Dick Jones, Jack Kelly, Harry Lauter, Guy Madison, Huey Martin, Doug McClure, John McIntyre, George Montgomery, Clayton Moore, Jeanette Nolan, Jekyll Mahoney, Slim Pickens, Fred Putman, Denver Pyle, Roy Rogers, John Russell, Mark Slade, Sons of the Pioneers, Milburn Stone, Larry Storch, Barry Sullivan, Lee Van Cleef, Bill Williams, Terry Wilson, Keenan Wynn, and Tony Young, with film appearances by James Arness, Gene Autry, Gene Barry, Ken Barry, Amanda Blake, Dan Blocker, Richard Boone, Andy Devine, Clint Eastwood, James Garner, Lauren Green, Michael Landon, Roger Moore, Steve McQueen, Hugh O'Brien, Burt Reynolds, Ronald Reagan, Jay Silverheels, and Clint Walker. When the West Was Fun, a Western reunion, brought to you by Buick, who invite you to see and drive the 1980 Buick Skylark, soon at your Buick dealer. It just might be the perfect car for you. And now, here's your host, Glenn Ford.
When you've ridden in from every corner of the West for a big reunion, there's nothing better to take your mind off your saddle sores than some lively singing and dancing. So let's bring on the girls now.
With them?
Oh, no, not yet. But while we're waiting, why don't you just sit down and let the girls entertain us Western style, right?
An old saloon, an empty chair. Until you came tonight, no one's been there. A dusty gloom on everything. Till you came home tonight to claim your place as king. For when the West was young, you gave it all you got. You threw those loaded dice, and baby, you were hot. When the West was fun, when the West was fun, the bad guys always lost, the good guys always won. For in bygone days, when the West was fun, the land was set there for everyone. A man was born to set down his roots, to carry his gun and to polish his boots, to fight the odds till the job was done, be it gambling or stealing or raising a son.
120 TV Western series. That's a lot of shooting. A lot of bad guys and a lot of, you know. Well, come to think of it, maybe the 6 o'clock news took their place. In 1 year alone, 1957, there were more than 30 of them every week. Remember how the whole country tuned in to see exciting shows like these?
The Lone Ranger. Have gun. Will travel. Gunsmoke. Wanted. Dead or alive. Bonanza. Broken Arrow. The Rifleman. Wild Bill Hickok. Wyatt Earp. The Roy Rogers Show. Maverick. The Big Belly. Lawman. F-Troop. Bat Masterson. The High Chaparral. The Gene Autry Show. Rawhide. The Cisco Kid. Annie Oakley. The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin. The Wild Wild West. Cheyenne. Hopalong Cassidy. Death Valley Days. Cades County.
Those were the days, huh?
I'll tell you something, Glenn. TV could use some more of those good old Western shows right now.
That's for sure.
People are hankering for them. Ever seen anybody hanker for a cop show? They may watch them, but they don't hanker.
I'll drink to that. Say, Larry, give me a Kentucky bourbon whiskey, will you?
Kentucky bourbon, you say?
Right.
My pleasure, sir. As it was the pleasure of my cousin Colonel Rhett, Beauregard Yancey, Jefferson Davis, Culpeper, Jackson, Yazoo Lee. You know that my family has a distinguished military tradition? Yes, sir. For every war going back to the Revolution, the Rhett Beauregard Lees have provided at least one deserter.
Yeah, but where's Roy?
Who cares about Roy?
Dale.
You got me. You got a point there.
Welcome back. Now, we're really getting into the heart of our Western reunion, so stick around. We've got some surprises for you. Now, just a minute ago, we were talking about how much fun it would be to have some of those great old TV Westerns back on the air. The only trouble is, the way things are now, they might have to be done a bit differently. Now, this is the way it used to be in the TV West. Today, that scene might be played this way.
You want to talk about land?
You're on my property, stranger, and I aim to see that you pay up, you hear? I said pay, stranger. I'm holding a deed, and you're on my place.
Darn, I thought the boardwalk and Park Place were mine.
No, Pennsylvania Avenue and the short line. That's yours.
Attention, Sheriff Ford, a 920 in progress at the local saloon.
9:20, huh? Well, I'm at the saloon right now. I'll take care of it immediately.
What is a 920?
Cheating at Monopoly.
Johnny, you're in shorts.
I know.
Do you think this is the proper way to come to a Western reunion? In shorts and sneakers?
I wanted to be chic.
Do you see anybody else here wearing shorts?
No,
Well, no, it's right. Don't you feel a little odd?
I'm beginning to.
I think these people deserve an explanation. I hope you have something to sing for yourself.
I'm the cowboy in shorts. I roam the tennis courts. I'm full of beans when I'm in these jeans. My legs ain't bowed, but my knees are tan. And I learned my game from the rifleman.
I'm all right, son. Mark, I guess you saw part of what happened here.
I sure did.
But I hope I can make you understand. Look, son, as long as you remember those men lie there, I want you to remember that I didn't want this to happen. You know what I've told you about a rifle? It's a weapon only as a last resort. This was a last resort, Mark. I wish it hadn't come to that.
I understand, Bo.
That's my boy! Well, that's just the whole truth of the matter.
No, it ain't neither.
Well, of course it is. Now, let me give you a hypothesis.
I don't want one.
What do you mean?
Well, they eat too much. Well, them blame things, they'll eat twice as much as a rhinoceros horse does. I can't even afford to feed my own mule.
Wait just a minute and I'll explain this whole thing to you. You see, you're walking down the street.
Where am I going?
Don't make any difference.
Well, dickens it don't. I just don't go walking down the street if I ain't going someplace.
Listen, you're walking down the street, you see, and you run into somebody you know and you start talking to him.
Who is he?
It don't make any difference who he is.
Well, of course it does. I just don't talk to everybody in town. Besides, I might owe him some money.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You owe everybody in town, including me. And when I think about that, I just get sick at my stomach.
Well, then why don't you go find yourself a doctor, you blamed old scutter?
Doc, I'm right here, right here. It just hurts like thunder, Doc. Yeah, I know that. Now, you just hang on and we'll take care of it. Kitty. How'd I get here? Last I recollect, I was crawling down.
Frickin' newly put you.
Ruth. I got to find Ruth.
You just gotta do nothing but stay right where you're at.
Doc.
You know, Doug, seeing all these guys again reminds me that some of them were pretty fast with a gun.
Yeah? And I know someone who was pretty fast with ladies.
How you doing, boys?
But I'm fine.
Hey, when you find out who it is, let me know.
I understand you fellows been inquiring about a fast gun. Ah, hi, Peter. Your gun fast?
Well, no, actually, but my watch is running a couple minutes ahead of time. Actually, who would I have to prove this to? Who do you want me to outdraw? I'm ready.
One, two, three.
Well, Marshal, was I fast or was I fast?
Well, I noticed you're using the past tense there, Peter. Now, when you played my deputy, Johnny McKay, during those 4 years at Lawman,
Yeah.
you didn't have much chance to practice.
Is that right?
Well, seeing as how you're still so fast with that, you can be my deputy anytime.
Well, now, Marshal, I think we might have to discuss that. You see, with the high cost of living and everything going up so much, probably need a raise.
Don't draw so fast, and we'll leave the money where it is.
Well, now, I don't think I've ever seen such a suspicious group of varmints seated at the same table at the same time. I think.
Suspicious looking.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Listen, Glenn, I'll have you know I once played a good guy.
A good guy? It had to have been a prison picture.
I was framed.
The only time you were ever framed was in your baby pictures.
Okay, bet. Is that one of the baby pictures you had framed, Neville?
Hey, Nev.
He was cheating.
Yeah.
Neville.
How about that? Now, I don't know how many saloon brawls started this way. Too many to count, I imagine. But these fights you saw in TV Western saloons were usually, they weren't as rough as they looked. Now, for instance. It's balsa. Yeah, it's balsa wood. Absolutely harmless. Yes, and you know, when you see a fella go up to another guy and take a bottle and knock it over their head, that's harmless too, you know, because it's breakaway. It's a breakaway bottle. Larry, will you come here? Yes, I'm going to show you. Oh, that's the wrong bottle. Yeah, well, usually you see they use stuntmen for this kind of thing. Oh, my. But, now, for example, this fella here on my left, Yancey Derringer. I mean, Jocko Mahoney. He's my good friend here. He's probably one of the greatest stuntmen in the business.
It's a mighty nice compliment, Glenn. Thank you.
Everybody seems to have forgotten Neville was cheating at cards.
Nobody accuses me of cheating.
Sit down, Jackson. Wait a minute.
Had enough?
Happy one for you. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Trails to you till we meet
When the West was fun, a Western reunion, brought to you by Buick, who invite you to see and drive the 1980 Buick Skylark, soon at your Buick dealer. It just might be the perfect car for you.
Good night, everybody.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty high-o silver. This is Dick Tufel speaking. Who was that masked man?